On Housing TV news at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Dorcas Chia. And now our top stories. President Tinubu departs Abuja on a two-nation visit. Unions demand revocation of Tinubu departs Abuja on Thursday, August 14th, for a two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. It is said the president will stop over in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, before proceeding to Japan. In Japan, President Tinubu will attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in the city of Yokohama from August 20th to 22nd. With the theme, Co-create innovative solutions with Africa, TCAD 9 will focus on Africa's economic transformation and improvements in the business environment and institutions through private investment and innovation. It also promotes a resilient and sustainable African society for human security, peace, and stability. In addition to attending plenary sessions on themes linked to the conference, the Nigerian president will hold bilateral meetings and meet the chief executive officers of some Japanese companies with investments in Nigeria. The forum fosters high-level policy dialogue between African leaders and development partners. At the end of the TCAD 9, President Tinubu will leave for Brasilia, the capital of the Federative Republic of Brazil, on a two-day state visit from Sunday, August 24th to Monday, 25th. This follows an invitation by the Brazilian president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Among his delegation are key ministers and senior officials who will explore opportunities to strengthen cooperation and sign agreements with memorandum of understanding with the Brazilian government. Moving forward, Governor Dauda Lawal has rebuked those responsible for the brutal attacks and senseless killings in Zamfara state, saying sponsors of banditry will surely receive retribution. The governor made these remarks when he visited communities in the Karan Namoda local government area that bandits had recently attacked. A statement by the spokesperson of the governor, Sulaiman Bala Idris, disclosed that the affected communities visited are Banga, Sakajiki, Kuya, Maduro, Manguru, and Tambarawa, all in Karan Namoda local government area. During the visit, Governor Lawa offered his condolences to the families who lost loved ones and assured to the communities of his commitment to ensuring the safety of lives and property. In his speech, the governor strongly condemned the recent wave of attacks carried out by bandits, saying the enemies intentionally meant these violent acts to spread fear among communities. Away from that story, the National Union of Electricity Employees and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporation, Civil Service, Technical and Recreational Services Employees have called on the federal government to urgently revoke the privatization of the power and water resources in Nigeria. Speaking after a joint meeting in Kano, NUE's Northwest Zonal Organizing Secretary 1, Ayuba Barde, said the privatization of the sectors has had negative consequences and must be reversed. He added that the unions have warned against the privatization policy from the beginning, but their concerns were largely ignored. He further alleged that the privatization process was flawed, with licenses handed to cronies and allies of those in power, rather than being awarded based on market value or sectoral capacity.
We call on the attention of Nigerians that this policy government is bringing on board is not good for Nigeria, because we work in the sector and we know the strength of the sector. We know what we government need to put in place first before you even step into that privatization policy. But Nigerians could not give us the needed support. They call us names. They were thinking we have our own ulterior motive. But the reality was we were looking at the aftermath, the long-run effect of this policy on the Nigerians. Today, Nigerians will live to say the story themselves. The light or the supply is no longer available as expected.
It is not good to privatize water in the sense that when you look at it, it is a social services that's supposed to be subsidized by government. But government is dodging that responsibility and they are trying to involve private sector to come and take up production and distribution of water. But in the process, the private sector, because they are commercially oriented and they are interest oriented, so they will not give quality water for the people. At times the treatment will not be all that good, and when you pump a water that is not treated adequately, it can cause cholera, it can cause malaria, it can cause typhoid fevers, therefore giving more threat.
And now, the Petroleum Technology Development Fund and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company has signed a landmark memorandum of understanding to deepen research, innovation, and human capital development in Nigeria's petroleum and renewable energy sectors. The agreement, which was sealed in Abuja, formalizes a strategic partnership between PTDF and NNPCL's Research, Technology and Innovation subsidiary, aimed at promoting joint work on emerging technologies, sustainable energy solutions, and energy security. Speaking at the signing ceremony held at the PTDF Tower, the Executive Secretary of the fund, Galadima Aminu, described the pact as a bold step towards national progress, stressing that it would strengthen the bridge between academia, industry, and government. The PTDF boss added that the collaboration will bridge the gap between academia, industry, and government, creating an ecosystem where research is effectively translated into practical solutions. Highlighting the focus on homegrown expertise, he said, the joint commitment to local content development will ensure Nigerian talents, materials, and technologies take center stage in driving value creation and economic diversification in the energy sector. You're still watching the news on Housing TV Africa. Up next, updates from the build sector. Stay tuned.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Glad to know you are still watching the news at the hour. And now to the build sector. The federal government has warned states that it will pull down all illegal structures and revoke unapproved allocations on Nigeria's shoreline to protect coastal lands from encroachment. The Surveyor General of the Federation, Abdul Ganiyu Adebomehin, issued the warning in Abuja while hosting the executive team of the Federal Capital Territory branch of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria in his office. Adebomehin said the directive followed President Bola Tinubu's order for a comprehensive harmonization of shoreline documentation and allocations. This mandates the Office of the Surveyor General of the Federation to take full control of the process. He said despite the presidential directive, some states were still allocating land within the shoreline without involving his office. And over to the foreign scene, the Israeli military has revealed it intercepted a missile fired from Yemen, with the Iran-backed Houthi rebels claiming responsibility for the attack. Israel's army gave this revelation on their Telegram account. Houthi military spokesman Yahya Sari later said the group had launched a Palestine-2 hypersonic ballistic missile targeting Israel's Ben Gurion airport. The Yemeni rebels have repeatedly launched missiles and drones at Israel since their Palestinian ally Hamas' October 2023 attack on Israel sparked the Gaza war. The Houthis, who say they are acting in support of the Palestinians, paused their attacks during a 2-month ceasefire in Gaza that ended in March, but renewed them after Israel resumed major operations. Israel has carried out several retaliatory strikes in Yemen, targeting Houthi-held ports and the airport in the rebel-held capital, Sana'a. That's all we can take on our package, but before we go, let's take a look at our top stories once again. President Bola Tinubu departs Abuja on a 2-nation visit. Unions demand revocation. For more updates in the housing sector, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And you can download the Housing TV app on your Google Play Store and Apple Store. Thanks for watching. My name is Dorcas Chia. Bye for now.